Well, welcome everybody to another assembly. It's another week of lockdown and we're really starting to miss you all and really hoping that this will finish soon and that we'll be able to see you again. Well, I thought during the lockdown, while it's difficult, it'd be good to put a positive spin on this. And so I asked the heads of school to go around and ask some different kids about one thing that is positive about the lockdown. Over to the heads of school.
Okay, I'm here with Tappy from Year 1. Tappy, can you tell us one thing that you can think of that's been good about being in lockdown?
So one thing is that it's much more peaceful.
Grace is in Year 2. Grace, can you tell me one thing that you can think of that's been good about being in lockdown?
And I can still come to school.
It's lovely if you're able, isn't it? I'm here with Loraya, and Loraya is in Year 4. Loraya, can you tell me one thing that's been good about being in lockdown?
Probably hanging out with my family more often.
That actually is a blessing, isn't it? I think that's a good one. Well done.
Good morning. I'm here with Kieran, who's in Year 5, who's been at school for the whole of the lockdown. And Kieran's going to tell us what is the best thing about being in lockdown.
Getting to go to our breaks earlier and play a number with other year groups.
Well, we're here with Ruby, who is in Year 8, and Ruby is one of our students that lives out of town. Ruby, what is the best thing about being in lockdown?
I think that the best thing about being in lockdown is being able to see my family and spend time with them, because I have to travel so far to get to school. I don't get to see them very much every day, so now I get to spend all day with them and see them all the time.
Great, thanks Ruby.
So here we are with three people from my Year 10 PE class, one of the best classes in the school, and we're going to ask them something that they like or that they're thankful for during lockdown. Sarah?
It's been really good to spend more time with family. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, definitely one of the blessings of lockdown. Ella?
Well, obviously seeing my face on camera is a plus. But on a serious note, like, you value your friendships more and like people you interact with.
Yeah, it's not until you lose some things that sometimes we realise how good it was. Yeah, definitely that's one. And Tilly?
Definitely getting motivated to go outside more and exercise, yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to have a bit more time in the day to do that. And aren't the days awesome as well? I enjoyed the sun this morning. Right, good one. Thanks heaps, girls. Keep working hard. See you later.
Well, thank you, heads of school. Last week, we heard from Mrs. Taylor that getting out in the sun and doing some exercise is a great way to break the cycle, and it's really good for your health. So I thought I'd go and see her again and just see if she's got any other tips for us for this week. Let's go and see Mrs. Taylor. Well, we're here again with Mrs. Taylor. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor, for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a great tip that you gave us last week, and I believe you've got another one for us.
I do. So my tip for the week is on sleep.
Good topic.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. So sleep helps us to remember what we've learned in the day. It helps us to have more energy for playing sports and doing the things that we need to do.
Yep.
It helps our body to fight germs and illnesses. And also helps with our concentration, and you just feel better about yourself when you get a really good night's sleep. So I suppose one of my biggest things is that kids don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And so for high school kids, we want them to have about 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night.
Yep.
And for kids in primary school, they need about 10 to 11 hours of sleep a night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually quite a lot of sleep.
Yeah, sure is.
And it's really important for the younger kids in primary school to go to bed before 9 p.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really important. So how do we get a good night's sleep? This is the next question.
And that is a good question.
Yes. How do we do it? Things to avoid are caffeine.
Yep.
So things like coffee, tea, Coke, chocolate, energy drinks, they have a lot of caffeine in them.
Mm-hmm.
And even having them in the afternoon, it will just make your sleep shorter, more shallow. You won't get as much deep sleep. So that's why we want to avoid those types of foods and drinks. So sleep, we want to sleep in our bed.
Yep.
We want our bed to be nice and comfy.
Mhm.
We want our room to be comfy. And we also want to avoid screens and having screens in our rooms as well
Yep.
Before bed.
Yep.
It's really important that your bedroom stays as your area where you do sleep, because when we start doing things like eating in bed or watching TV and playing games in bed, our brains can get a little bit confused about what's actually going on. So then when you do try to go to sleep, your brain's like, oh, this is where I eat or this is where I play games. So it can get a little bit confused. So
And in lockdown, I reckon there's going to be a lot of people eating in bed.
yes, I feel that too.
So you got to avoid that, guys.
That's it. Another important thing is that we want to have the same bedtime every day.
Yep.
Even on the weekends. So some kids like to stay up late and they're like, oh, I'll catch up on sleep the next day. Catching up on sleep doesn't exist. You can never catch up on sleep.
Mhm.
So it's important just to keep things stable, the
Good
same.
routine.
Yep, good routine for sleep.
Yep.
We also want to do some calm, relaxing activities before we go to bed.
Yep.
Something like reading a book or listening to some soft music, chatting with members in your family, that type of thing.
Yep.
To get things winding down for the day. And then also, as what I said last week about activity and exercise, getting exercise every day helps with sleep at night.
Yeah, great. All
So
right.
that's my tip for the week.
Okay, so
Yeah.
beds, make sure you're getting enough sleep.
That's it.
Beds are for sleeping.
Beds are for sleeping.
No drinks or screens close to bedtime.
That's it.
Yep, or even in the afternoon by the sounds
in the
of it.
afternoon, yep.
That's no afternoon coffee for me.
No afternoon coffees. Sorry, teachers.
All right, and make your bed comfy and an environment a good place to sleep.
That's it. And you'll have a good night's rest and you'll have energy for the next day.
Fantastic. Really
Yeah.
important, especially at the moment, kids. So,
Yep.
great tip again. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
You're welcome. See you next time.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Taylor. That's another great tip. Well, over the weekend, I was looking at the flowers in my garden. They're all starting to come out and they look absolutely amazing. And as I was looking at the flowers, I was reminded of a verse in Matthew chapter 6, verses 28 and 29, which says, "And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labour or spin, yet I tell you, not even Solomon, in all his splendour, was dressed like one of these." After taking some photos of flowers in my garden, what I'd like to see is if you've got any flowers in your garden that you'd like to take a photo of, I'd love to see them. So we're going to have a challenge each week, and this week's challenge is to take a photo, the best photo that you can, of a plant or a flower in your garden and send it in. The instructions for how to do that are coming up on the screen right now. I'd love to see your flowers. Send them all in. The heavens declare the glory of God, but so do these beautiful flowers in my garden. The passage goes on to explain that if God does this for the flowers, then imagine what he does for those who follow him, because you are so much more valuable than a flower to God. At all times, I encourage you to trust in Jesus, to seek him first, and when we do, it helps us to take our eyes off ourselves and onto him. So when you see a flower, remember Jesus as our creator and to put your trust in him. Thank you for joining me for this assembly. We have another interesting episode of The Investigators coming up. Hope you enjoy it. Have a great week, guys, and take care. Boys, please, sit down.
Tell us a story, a great one.
Tell us about Chalk Boy. It started long ago. Perhaps the greatest villain we've ever faced.
How long? How long ago?
2009.
Oh, that was before you were born.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never been more upset in my life than those weeks when Chalk Boy was alive.
Tell us more.
We went into the classroom. He was dead. One of our colleagues on the floor. We loved him.
Oh, we loved him dearly. He shot him with chalk.
Bang! Straight from the hands. Choo! Choo! Choo!
We didn't think it would be possible for him to come back. And then it made sense, didn't it? Made sense.
He's got someone with him.
Yeah, someone's working with him.
An accomplice.
The only way we were able to beat him last time, we got superpowers.
Wait, what? Superpowers? You've got superpowers? What do you mean?
That's right, my children. We have superpowers. And we can get them for you.
Watch this.
Whoa!
Where did they go?
They're gone.
That's just one of our many powers.
Whoa, they're back again.
Wow! We can give them to you as well.
Oh!
And we will.
That was amazing.
So
how do we get it? I want to know.
Kneel down, young fella.
Let's see if it works. Whoa, it did work.
It actually worked. Okay, boys, it's time to practice your super speed. Let's go. Right, we need some gadgets now, boys. You got your superpowers? Let's see Go Go Gadget Man.
Here he is. Go Gadget Man. What have you made for us?
Well, I designed this pen. When you click it, it blows up the nearest building.
Thanks, Go Go Gadget Man. Right.
Oopsies.
Right, I think we're ready to go. Ready to take down Chalk Boy and
his accomplice.